Leading is to be able to find paths, to create strategies, to offer solutions where other people only find problems, and to offer solutions where for other people are impossibilities, jails, self-made or collectively made jails. And the Sufi will be someone who can say, in this particular environment, this is the way forward. Here you have a door, and there is another door. So leadership comes associated to this natural capacity that comes forward without effort. It's just the very nature of submission to Allah and love of Allah, that it will allow you to relate to the world in a different manner than most people. In as much as you disengage, the more you are capable of seeing farther and farther and farther. So here is something very practical too, something that you can taste, something that you can take with yourself, that not only helps you individually in dealing with your affairs, but here is something that it can be seen as a tool to help socially the community of people around you. You can show them. And that is how the knowledge of a Sufi is manifested. That's why I often say, if you go to the Sheikh of Tasawwuf, don't ask him what are the songs that you sing. The most important question is, what do we do? Because this is where you find the knowledge. If the person doesn't have answers to that, then he may still have other qualities, like barakah, is spending time with people to mention the name of Allah and to gather the people to mention the name of Allah. There's barakah in the matter, and there is no doubt of the value of it. In Tasawwuf, we distinguish between the Sheikh of barakah and the Sheikh of instruction. The Sheikh of instruction is always higher because it not only his company reminds you, but also contains instructions and guidance and seeing through. In other words, what you expect from such company is solutions. And solutions not on account of something specific, but something much more valuable than that. Solutions in terms of what is the way forward, what are the possibilities for all of us in the largest way. And by largest, I mean victory. In other words, to pursue knowledge is to pursue the knowledge of the people who have gone ahead of you, and to pursue it and to get to know what are the conditions of this knowledge. So one thing is to learn by memory the things he's saying. Another one is I want to be in the condition that my Sheikh had in order to that he could see the things. I want to have the heart that he has in order to see what nobody else could see. So here is not emulating his words, but emulating his heart. And this is important for what we are doing here. It's not that you come and you repeat what I say, but my task will be achieved if I manage to give you a taste of what is to modify your heart and to change your heart so that everything that you can see becomes different, illuminated, and brings you closer to Allah. So the idea of victory comes essentially by the understanding of something that we will discuss through this series, which is the idea of the Sheikh of the time is the very essence of the idea of living Islam, living Tasawwuf. Living Tasawwuf means that Tasawwuf is something alive. It's not something that you practice in the weekends. It's certainly not a singing club that you go and you start singing in the weekends and then life as usual. And you go back to the factory and then you are being exploited inside a capitalist infrastructure. That's not it. Obviously, it's not it. And somebody will argue, but it's better that they are singing in the weekend than watching television. And I will say, yes, it's better, but still, there is no instruction there. Without instruction, something's missing. We want to change the way you look at your daily affairs, and we want to change the understanding you have in the daily affairs so that you can find yourself in a path of liberation. That's why it's living. So it's practical. And living Tasawwuf, therefore, means that this is something that you exercise 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, you are continuously in this matter. You are engaged into this teaching, not only when you're in the company of singers, but on a 24 hours basis. It's a continuous movement. And that is why we call it living. And in this understanding of living, it means that it also changes with life itself. So, in other words, please understand this correctly. The tasawwuf changes. It changes in the way it presents itself, in the way it's manifest. Why? Because conditions keep changing. So while tasawwuf can never change, because Marifatullah will never change, is what it is, but the way it's manifested, it will reflect the conditions in which people live in. And that changes. So it's not the same conditions for Muslims in the end of the 19th century when colonialism was at its height than it will be today, where a different type of oppression is taking place and where the factors of domination have significantly changed over previous decades and eras. In understanding what is happening today, but using the same instruments, the manifestation will become different. You will be able to communicate in different times. So, in other words, if we were to copy the things that people have said in the past in regard to the instructions given, they will be of no use to us. And you say, but that's what are you saying? If you are saying that even Al-Arabi is not relevant to us, absolutely not. He's totally relevant to us, but not on account of the instructions he lived. He still lived in an era where the Sharia was in place. There was problems with the Sharia, and there was legal and political problems in Al-Andalus at the time he was living in, but there was still Sharia. We don't have Sharia today. We cannot pretend that we're going to teach tasawwuf, but, well, we don't have Sharia, but it doesn't matter. No, it's impossible. You can't teach without a roof. And the roof has gone, and the protection of the Sharia is gone. And when the protection has disappeared, you can't teach tasawwuf in the same way, because you have to put the roof back. If the Sharia has disappeared, the first task is the reestablishment of the Sharia. And there is no question on the matter. And pretending that everything is normal is a mistake, is a lack of guidance, is misunderstanding. And that is the problem of learning tasawwuf through books, which is one topic that you will hear and you will find throughout the different teachers of past, is speaking about the knowledge of the book and the knowledge of the taste of experience, the things that you have learned by yourself and the things that you have learned by repeating what somebody else has said. The difference is enormous, and it takes a fraction of a second to recognize the person who knows something by memory and the person who knows something through his experience. A second. They may be able to fool somebody who knows nothing about the school, but certainly they cannot fool somebody who knows the affair itself. There are plenty of those. They have no idea. And the proof, the most significant proof, is their attitude towards the Sharia, precisely. Anyone who says, it doesn't matter, don't worry, come to the weekend, I'm going to teach you this phenomenal teaching, and you're going to sing gloriously. Even though the conditions of your life are kafir, it will not affect you because your heart will be clean. Such people are deceivers. And we will speak about deceivers in this affair because it's important that you understand who they are and to have the tools to identify them. It's not difficult. They are deceivers of the greatest kind. When I have to speak about this topic, I always remember one of the letters of Sheikh Tarkawi, where he says, the ugliest person in the world is a false Sufi. It's the ugliest. There is nothing worse. And I agree totally. There is nothing more horrendous than somebody who claims speaking the language of the Sufis, but he has no idea what he's talking. It's terrible. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. Because the matter is precisely that illumination that you obtain, every closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to love it with all the intensity of the heart, allows you to free yourself from that conditioning that tells you there is nothing you can do. This is not within your reach. This is far too much for you. Be scared. Don't you understand this and this? This is not possible. This is not realistic, etc., etc., etc. All that voices that they are both coming from you and they are coming from society. Your friends will tell you, but what are you getting yourself into? That kind of music will play around you. And the heart is the one that it will pass through all that, like the knife cuts through the butter. It just will move without any concern for what defends you against such collective panic attacks is taqwa.